Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's silence on the day of Prince Philip's memorial was a very sensible decision, a royal commentator has claimed. Senior and extended members of the royal family attended a memorial service for Prince Philip on Tuesday, March 29, with the Queen able to make an appearance despite reported health scares. Harry and Meghan had announced that they would not. And royal commentator Neil Sean suggested that the couple's choice to remain silent on the day of the memorial service was a very sensible decision. Whatever people are saying, oh they didn't do this, they didn't acknowledge him, you couldn't win either way, he claimed. If they'd have put something out on their website then they're pulling focus. If they don't mention them, then of course it's negative. So by remaining silent, I think that was the very best thing for Her Majesty the Queen, and of course senior members of the British monarchy. The commentator acknowledged that Harry would have the opportunity to address his grandfather's impact on his life in his upcoming memoir, which is expected to be released later this year. However, despite praising the Sussexes' approach on the day, Neil suggested that Harry will regret his decision not to make the journey for the ceremony after leaders from other European countries traveled. The prince had attracted criticism from other commentators for failing to appear, with controversial TV host Piers Morgan calling Harry shameful for missing the event. Neil claimed that despite the Sussexes' silence, the couple may have been in contact with the Queen privately. It does appear, allegedly, that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle did indeed make contact through a written letter, we are told, to Our Gracious Majesty the Queen, explaining the reasons why they weren't coming back to the United Kingdom for the memorial service, he added. Prince Harry does know royal protocol, he knows exactly what he should do. He was brought up with all the very best possible people teaching him the best possible manners, so I think a lot of people will have misjudged him on that. In the other hand, Richard Kay, a veteran royal correspondent and the Daily Mail's editor-at-large told Palace Confidential the Duke's absence indicated how strained relations were between him and the rest of the royal family, something he described as being in a critical phase. He said, in part I think it probably was because of this allegation that he wasn't getting the protection he feels he deserves for his family. The other issue it throws up is that it does illustrate just how deep the rift is between Harry and the family, and I think it has now reached a fairly critical phase. Despite the COVID-restricted service, the Duke of Sussex was able to attend the funeral of his beloved late grandfather last year. Royal experts have criticized the Duke after pointing out he would be attending the Invictus Games in Holland, but wouldn't come to London for the Iron Duke's service. Speaking on Royal US, presenters Christine Ross and Christina Garibaldi discussed Harry's security concerns, pointing to comments made by royal expert Mr. Jobson. Ms. Garibaldi said, Robert Jobson makes the point that Prince Harry will be traveling to Holland for the Invictus Games. Granted, it is not London or central London, maybe he has different protection there. But he is okay to travel overseas, so it is a little disappointing and it makes you want to read into it a little bit more. Are these rifts a little deeper than we thought? Is he nervous about seeing his family? It comes as it remains increasingly unclear if the Duke of Sussex and his family will return for the Platinum Jubilee festivities in June or indeed at all in the near future. There have also been conflicting reports about the possibility of the Duke of York appearing from royal sources, but it is understood that he won't have any kind of official role if he does appear. According to the Daily Mail's royal editor Richard Eden, the royal family have some genuinely difficult decisions to make about the future of the Duke of York. He said, this really isn't the end of it, it's genuinely difficult. We have a series of big events to mark the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, and there are reports today that Andrew would like to appear at other events and maybe would take a prominent role with his mother again. So do they step in to say, please would you not do this? Or do they let the Queen decide?